All right, all right. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the BFTAA and More Show. I'm your host, Louis George Walker, and coming to you live and in living color. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see if we can adjust a little bit of that screen background there. That's not bad. That's not bad. See some of the stuff going on in the room there. All right, this is the BFTAA and More Show brought to you by the Black Family Technology Awareness Association in association with the WEB Du Bois Learning Center. We come together to start this station, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. We call it KUAW. So you're listening to KUAW Radio. We're glad to have you, and we're going to be a little bit brief today, but we did want to bring you some of the news that's going on in the community and give you some information of things that's going on. So, I know you can listen to us in a lot of ways, and we're going to have a new way coming up pretty soon. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Well, we're not on Facebook right now because we've got a little argument going on with them, but we will be back on Facebook in a little while. But we are on YouTube, and you can pick us up on our audio only channels if you have a Bluetooth speaker in your car, or if you just want to look at it, listen to us on the computer or anywhere. You can go to the TuneIn app. You can go to Get Me Radio, Online Radio Bot, My Radio Tuner. You can go to all of those sites and just click on KUAW or search for KUAW Radio, and we come in there. You can also pick us up on a smart speaker. If you have a Google or Amazon smart speaker, tell it to play KUAW Radio, and you will find us there. So there's a lot of different ways that you can pick us up, and we're just glad to be able to get with you. We also have a new website that you can come to that's from the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, and we have on that site a link to KUAW Radio. We're starting to put those back together. KUAW Radio is a part of the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. We formed it separately when we were doing some FM broadcasting and all to keep them separate. Well, we're not doing the FM. Well, we're doing FM, but it's in a partnership with KOJH, not our own FM. So now we're wanting to bring our media broadcasting and Black Family Technology Awareness Association back under the same umbrella on the web page so that you can pick us up without having to go to one or the other. And it also make it simple for fundraising. Fundraising will be done through the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, which is the 501c3 organization that runs KUAW Radio. KUAW Radio is a project of the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. So we're trying to get everything together, simplify our back room, and also make it easier for us to be related to that. You know that KUAW is not a distinct, separate entity from BFTAA, but is actually a project of BFTAA. So that's something that's new. At one time, we were making it separate. We're going back to the future and making it all one and the same. So we thank you to continue to hang with us on that. And in that same vein, we're getting ready to start broadcasting another way that we want you to pick up on. But today, I've started our TikTok account. So we're going to be coming to you on TikTok. We're going to have to build up our followers and our listeners on TikTok before we can start streaming live. But we hope to get 1,000 of you over there. And when we get that ready to go, we want you to start signing up and follow us on TikTok so we can have the followers that we can start broadcasting live on the TikTok platform. We're a little bit late getting there, but hey, better late than never. We're going to get there just the same. So look for BFTAA and KUAW Media to be represented on the TikTok platform so that we can reach more and more people, which is our goal, and to get more information out. Now, you may have seen a little fish on my shirt. I've got there we go, get the right side. Catfish conference shirt on. Went to a catfish conference and check that out. But I do a lot of fishing, as you guys know. I've been out on the river. I've entered for the 2 years in a row in the MR 340, the Missouri River 340 race, the longest nonstop river race in the country. So we've done that a couple of times, and we're going to do some more. And I also fish from my kayak, also fish from the shore, from wherever I can fish from. But we like to do that too. And nature, getting out in nature is also a part of science, technology, engineering, and math, because the science of getting out in nature, of being around the different, what do I want to say, environmental connections that you have between plants, between water, between wildlife, and all of that that you can run into in the outdoors. And I urge you, if you don't already, to try and make it a point to get outdoors when you can and if you can. It's always good to try and get some fresh air, as my mother used to tell us. Go outside and play. Go outside and get some fresh air. Well, as we get older, we still want to do the same thing. Go outside and play. It's good for your health. It's good to keep you going and keep your body working right, and your mind. Mentally, it's good to go outside and to be around the birds, the wildlife. Yeah, there's bugs out there, and you may get mosquito bites, but put on some protection. You can kind of keep that away. We don't want you to get Lyme disease or anything else that comes from ticks and stuff. But they've got protection for that, and if you do it carefully, you can go out into the woods or into the park. There's a lot of people that don't even go to the parks anymore, and that's something that we should do. Get out into the open air. Your health is an important thing, and getting outside in the sunlight, socializing with other people is always a great thing to do. So try and do that as much as you can. Now, before we go much further, I want to go into the Urban Network News. I think we have a broadcast coming for you right now. So let's sit back, relax, and get ready to check out the Urban Network News.
This is UNN Urban Network News, sponsored by ahintofmoss.com. I'm Alexander Caden, and here's a couple of things happening in the news. The White House has said that there'll be an increased presence of federal law enforcement in the nation's capital to fight crime, amid Trump's suggestion that his administration could fully take over running the city. Democrats are pushing for a congressional hearing with survivors of convicted sex trafficker and pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The U.S. Department of Justice opened up federal investigations into the office of New York Attorney General Letitia James, seeking to determine whether James violated the civil rights of Trump or others. Now here's some privileged news. The U.S. Secret Service is asking the Army Corps of Engineers to raise the water level of a river in Ohio so Vice President J.D. Vance can kayak with his family for his birthday. Wow, who does J.D. think he is? The Donald? Anyway, if they do it, that's crazy for the Army Corps of Engineers to spend taxpayer money to increase water flow in a river so the Vice President can go canoeing. A white supremacist has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for a plot to destroy the majority black city of Baltimore, Maryland's power grid. How did Shedeur Sanders do in his first NFL game? Well, he completed 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'd say he did just fine. You've been listening to UNN, Urban Network News, national news and information for and about people of color, sponsored by ahintofmoss.com, featuring 100% wild-crafted sea moss in a variety of flavors. That's ahintofmoss.com.
All right, all right. So that's some of the news going on. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I like to kayak too, but I don't quite have that kind of reach that I can get the river levels changed. I have to go with whatever's out there. Okay, let me get back on with you. Excuse me. There I am. We got the video back, and we're glad to be here. But yeah, that's I guess you could say that's an abuse of power to do that. Although they'll probably cover it up and say, well, they were going to have a water release anyway, and that had nothing to do with what J.D. Vance wanted and stuff. That's part of the privilege of that power that goes with the president and the vice president and a lot of different government officials. So don't think that they don't use their power for personal gain or enjoyment. It's not all being done for the public. But as we go forward, there's some things coming up in Kansas City as school is getting ready to start, and I hope that you've got your school shopping in. The tax-free weekend was last weekend, so if you didn't buy a lot of your electronics and clothes and backpacks and stuff then, you'll have to pay taxes on it this time. So that's going to be probably almost a 10% jump in the cost of everything. So if you missed it, well, you can get out. There's also going to be some tax giveaways. There's going to be some free, not tax giveaways, excuse me, some back to school giveaways that are happening. They've been happening almost every weekend, if not through the day. Check your local papers. I don't have a lot of the information now. I know Second Missionary Baptist Church in Grandview, Missouri is going to have a tax giveaway. I keep saying tax. A school supply giveaway that's going to be happening this Saturday, I think August the 16th. If Be sure and call before you go to make sure. Call Second Missionary Baptist Church in Grandview, Missouri, and find out the date and the time of their back to school giveaway. Also, there's other city organizations. Check your papers, check your Facebook, and a lot of those different sites to find out that you can get school supplies if you need some assistance with that from a lot of different organizations that are making those type of things possible, even as far as having some clothes that they're giving away. So check your paper, check the websites, check Facebook, any place you can. Call your friends and find out where there'll be some school supply giveaways if you haven't got them yet or don't have the means or need some assistance in supplying your kids with their back to school things. Be sure and reach out so that your kids can go back prepared and be ready for this school year. It's going to be a great year, and we know we've got young people out there really ready to do some great things. I was looking at a Facebook post from my niece who was in St. Louis over the weekend at an event with young people, and she was talking about how she came away, with high hopes for our youth. And sometimes, if you just watch the news, if you just listen to the things that are going on as far as shootings and people getting killed and stuff, you can lose hope and not think that there's good things going on. But you need to get out around the young people. Go to some of the things that they have for young people, and you may come away with a whole different idea of how our young people are faring. There are a lot of great things that our young people are thinking about, that they're working on, that they do on a daily basis, and we don't always hear that in the news. We hear a lot of the negative, and it is bad when that happens. You don't want to hear of anybody losing their life or anything like that, but it's not all doom and gloom. There are some young people that are doing some terrific things, and they need the recognition and support. There was an old song one time, I believe, by the Whispers that said, "It seems like I got to do wrong before you notice me." And we don't want to be like that. We don't want that we notice the people that are wrong, that are doing things wrong, or we seem to highlight them and they're always in our faces, when the ones that are doing something good, doing some positive things, that are studying, that are getting their grades up and are doing well, aren't getting the recognition. So we don't want it to be that within our own village that we don't notice, that we don't recognize our young people that are doing something. One of the shows that we have on here Saturday is called Wave Your Grades, and it's for veterans and young people, for our young people to get to know the veterans that have made the sacrifices for the freedoms that they have, and to show their grades, to show their gratitude by making good grades, by working hard and diligently, and that's a show that looks at the positive effects. And there's people on there every week that are talking about the positive things that are going on with young people and with others within the community. So let's start promoting that. Let's start being in and about those type of activities that are going on. And in that same vein, we have an event that's going on this weekend that the Black Family Technology Awareness Association is going to be a part of, and it's called Kids Tech Day. And I've got a little video I want to show you of Kids Tech Day that's put out by We Code KC, which is the lead organization of this. And let's see if we can find that and bring it up for you. Yeah, I think we can do this. Just a second. Let me get my mug out of the way. Where am I at? All right, this is about Kids Tech Day. Snap the code, tap the beat. Got my laptop feeling elite. Type it out, hit that key. I'm the next big tech prodigy. Lighten up the circuit board. We invent, create, explore. Game on blast, we click and scroll. Building dreams with heart and soul. E-code it, rock it. We don't stop it. Tech so fresh, can nobody top it. Kids Tech Day, we shine and slay. Leveling up in every way. Snap it, hack it, we make magic. Cool like bots and a bit dramatic. Future so bright, we tech and play. It's our time, Kids Tech Day. Clap. All right, all right. That's one of the things that's coming up, and we are going to be down there. Kids Tech Day. Let's do that one more time just to be sure that you guys got that and that you can tell your friends about it. It's Kids Tech Day that's going to be happening right here in Kansas City at the Convention Center. Snap the code, tap the beat. Got my laptop August the 16th. Type it out, hit that key. At the Kansas City Convention Center, 300 West 13th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. I want you to register online today. Go to kidstechday, one word, .org. kidstechday.org. All right, all right. Yes, that was a nice video that they put together, a good promotional thing. I don't know who wrote it, but it seems to be pretty well done and stuff. So that's going to be for the young people. Kids Tech Day. And the Black Family Technology Awareness Association will have a booth there. We want you to stop by. If you watched that video, you probably saw us there last year. We had our youth STEM club there. We've invited our robotics team, some of the members that if they're free to stop by. So we should have some of the young people there that your kids can talk to find out what it's like to be on a robotics team and to compete in robotic events. They can also talk to kids that have been through our drone program, some of the same kids that have learned how to fly drones and to control drones and are going to be moving forward this year, even doing more with the drone flying. So come down. It's this Saturday from 10 till 2, August the 16th at the KC Convention Center. Contact We Code KC or go to Kids Tech Day, that's KIDSTECHDAY.org. Go to kidstechday.org and register that, let them know that you're coming so they can have an idea of how many people to expect to be there. We'd like to have as many as possible to see what our young people are doing. And you can sign your child up to be on our robotics program. We'll be down there taking enrollment because we're going to start our robotics team the Saturday after Labor Day, the first Saturday after Labor Day, our Lego robotics team. And if we have some high schoolers, we're going to start a VEX robotics team, but they'll start Saturday at the WEB Du Bois Learning Center. We'll sign them up. So be sure and get in touch with us so you can get the sign up so that we can get kids involved. So if you've got a young child from 9 to 18 years old, they can sign up for our robotics program at the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. We've been doing these robotics since about 2008, and we've been an organization for 20 years. So it wasn't too long after we started that we got involved in robotics. And my granddaughter, who was in the robotics program, I always have to brag on her. And she got through the program, and she's now a college graduate and just got her doctor's degree and licensed in physical therapy. But we did a lot of events just to encourage young people to move forward, to look at STEM careers and becoming a physical therapist. That is science right there. That is part of STEM. So we encourage STEM participation. It doesn't have to be that everybody's going to be a computer programmer or work with robots or a rocket engineer, but there's a lot of different careers that are in STEM. Nursing is a STEM thing. You've got to know a lot of science to be a nurse. So STEM is in all aspects of our lives. We work with technology, we work with medicines and math and all of that in a lot of things that we do every day. And a lot of the jobs and careers are high paid that you can make a good living at, but also they're in demand. There's something that is needed in our community. Something that we need more of is people that are skilled in the different STEM fields. So, yeah, be sure and get your child down there to the Kids Tech Day, and that you'll meet a lot of other organizations. It won't just be BFTA. We Code KC is down there. I think a lot of digital inclusion people. There's a couple other schools, but there are a lot of people that will be offering programs. Some of them are free, some of them may cost some money, but it's still worth the investment to get your child involved in STEM. It can be a good way for them to use their brain power. It's just like we want our kids to be physically fit. We also want them to have their minds right too, so that they can be thinking and logical thinkers, and that STEM really helps out in that. So, hey, we'd like for you to come down. Want you to see some of our young people at work, and we'll let them, tell you about what they're doing. And we also encourage our kids to help to build up that confidence and public speaking and all these things that you have to use on your job or in a career if you start your own business, knowing how to speak, knowing how to face the public. Those are some of the things that we also do. It's not all about building robots or programming computers or flying drones. It's some of the people skills that you learn when you're in these programs, working on a team. Teamwork is real important. When I was in my career in communications, a lot of the things we did were with teams. And being a part of a team might be 6, 8, 10, 12 of you on a team working on a project. And you've got to work together to bring the project to fruition and do it on time, do it on schedule, and get it done right. They don't want you to just be half doing it and stuff. When you're on one of them schedules on the job, your team can get rated. If the team doesn't do good, it doesn't look good for a lot of you. You can blame it on other people, but you were on that team that didn't do good, just like if you're on the team that does great. So teamwork is something that you learn by being in competitive robotics and learning drone competitions and different competitions like that, that are skills that become lifelong skills that you need, because you find that in a lot of things that you do in this world, it's not going to be just a solo job. You have to learn about leadership. You have to learn about team dynamics, working together, how you can persuade or convince people to go in the direction that you think should be going, or how you may have to compromise to get a job done. But those are things that are all part of growing. And if they get involved in the tech field or in STEM and some of the different programs involved that we're involved with and others, it will be good for the young people. I don't think anybody regrets being on a robotics team. They may not have liked it when they got in there. They may not even loved it after they were in there, but you can bet that they learned something out of it. So those are things that we're just glad to be a part of. So we don't have much else to talk with you about today as we get into the 30 minutes hour. We're going to go out with the news and with the, boy, I tell you, it sounds like I got an echo. We're going to go out with the news and also with Kids Tech Day. So thank you for being with me. Now we're going to go to UNN Urban Network News. We'll do that once again, and we'll close out the day's show with the Kids Tech Day. This Saturday, be sure and be there. Bring your family, tell your friends, bring as many young people as you can. Contact We Code KC and get involved with that. Come down this Saturday from 10 until 2 for Kids Tech Day. Here we go again. Where's our news at? We'll get it. We got to find it here. There it is. All right. See if I can get out of the way. All right. All right. Here we go. It's okay. Man, I tell you, me.
This is UNN Urban Network News, sponsored by ahintofmoss.com. I'm Alexander Caden, and here's a couple of things happening in the news. The White House has said that there'll be an increased presence of federal law enforcement in the nation's capital to fight crime, amid Trump's suggestion that his administration could fully take over running the city. Democrats are pushing for a congressional hearing with survivors of convicted sex trafficker and pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The U.S. Department of Justice opened up federal investigations into the office of New York Attorney General Letitia James, seeking to determine whether James violated the civil rights of Trump or others. Now here's some privileged news. The U.S. Secret Service is asking the Army Corps of Engineers to raise the water level of a river in Ohio so Vice President J.D. Vance can kayak with his family for his birthday. Wow, who does J.D. think he is? The Donald? Anyway, if they do it, that's crazy for the Army Corps of Engineers to spend taxpayer money to increase water flow in a river so the Vice President can go canoeing. A white supremacist has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for a plot to destroy the majority black city of Baltimore, Maryland's power grid. How did Shedeur Sanders do in his first NFL game? Well, he completed 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'd say he did just fine. You've been listening to UNN, Urban Network News, national news and information for and about people of color, sponsored by ahintofmoss.com. Featuring 100% wild-crafted sea moss in a variety of flavors. That's ahintofmoss.com.